This is Joe Costello's WFO Radio Ignition, covering everything that has wheels, an engine, and a driver.
The reason I race is to get the chicks. You know what I mean?
NASCAR, IndyCar, Formula One, sports cars, and NHRA Drag Racing.
Hey, guys, just want to let you know, WFO rocks.
WFO Radio is total motorsports.
It's just so cool.
Fasten your seatbelts, fire up the ignition, and drop the hammer.
Yeah, let's do it.
Now, here's your host, Joe Costello.
WFO, how's everybody doing out there? Ignition back on the air, starting another week of WFO Radio podcast. Those of you listening audio only, which is everyone, to the Ignition Show, hello and welcome. This is not the first show of the week on WFO, though. We connected with Trip Tatum, the Gator Nationals winner in Top Fuel. If you did not see and hear that interview, it was great. You definitely want to check it out. It is in the archive on the free WFO Radio mobile app, which hopefully you all have and are using, or subscribed on YouTube or wherever you can get your WFO, like the good old-fashioned website, WFOradio.com, which has everything in audio and video, and it is just great. It's great stuff. And tomorrow, Alan Reinhardt will be on at 1 o'clock later on in the week, and if you're listening, we'll have Matt Hagan, and if you're listening in the distant future, none of this means anything to you. Just go back to the archive and pick the shows, man. Just pick the shows. Now, we got a big one. We're going to talk Formula One. We're going to get into NASCAR from Circuit of the Americas. We're going to get ready for NHRA 4-Wide. We're going to talk about everything. It's going to be all on the table. The Elite Eight and the NCAA tournament, the big slap, Will Smith and Chris Rock. That was a negative thing, though. We rarely talk about negative things on here, right? Wrong. We talk about them. But it has definitely transcended everything. Like in my feed today, it was everywhere. It was in every aspect of my feed. I saw it live. And that's why it was a very interesting situation to watch something like that live. Like, this is real. But we'll get into that a little bit later. We'll talk our WFO Radio Fantasy League. We'll get into the Sports Collision with Giovanni in Miami, all of that. But before we go any further, I want to welcome new sponsor, VP Racing Fuels. And we want you to go to their website, vpracingfuels.com. They got a cool newsletter, but they have a lot of great stuff going on in addition to racing fuel. Believe it or not, like that is their primary function. But they have got lubricants and coolants and fuel additives, small engine fuels. They even have car care products and cool stuff for your man cave, like VP signs and whatnot. So thanks a lot to VP Racing Fuels for recognizing that the WFO universe are not just listeners, but they are car enthusiasts and racers. And we welcome them along with our other sponsors like Total Seal Piston Rings. Matt Hartford and the team over at Total Seal recognizes that you guys in the WFO universe are out there racing and doing and having engines built. And you have your favorite drivers and you are connected to them, and you can carry the message that Total Seal makes better rings, regardless of the combination out there. TotalSeal.com, the website where you can order an individual ring. You can order right from the website. If you damage one ring out of your set, you can get that duplicated. And you can also listen to Hidden Horsepower at TotalSeal.com. Then there's FTIPerformance.com. Transmissions, torque converters, transmission fluid, their special formula that is unique to them, and the results speak for themselves, whether it be pro modified, top dragster, top sportsman, .90, big money bracket racing. Woo! They've got it all. They're located in DeLand, Florida, and they're an industry leader. And that's one thing I'm very proud of here on WFO is that the companies that support us, they are no joke. So thanks to FTI, VP, and Total Seal. Thank you for joining the show. A little bit later on in the show, we'll tell you about a couple of our other sponsors who are super helpful, like Marvin and Frank and Sam Tech. But right now, let's bring in the Giovanni in Miami as we get this party started, and we post the Patreon link. The Patreon link is now up, and it is a fully powerful and operational battle station. What's up, Giovanni?
Woo! All right.
All right. Yeah, man, big weekend of racing. We had Formula One. Max Verstappen wins. Ferrari second and third. I felt like it was another good weekend. I am not so jaded that I'm going to complain that they did not win both of the first two races, that they got a first and a second with Charles Leclerc. I am just excited about the battling and the racing and how good it was and the new car. How about both series, talking NASCAR and Formula One, go through a major changeover in their car, and they both seem to have worked. Like it both worked. NASCAR at Circuit of the Americas, greatness, great battle. Road courses on the new Bristol. Formula One out there, wherever they were, Saudi Arabia, incredible battling. No opinion on any of that?
Oh, I thought I didn't realize you were throwing it to me.
Incredible battling, and that's where you dive in and you say, "Yeah, man, I watched it and I liked it."
There was all kinds of battling, even between teammates. Was the first battles we saw, which was the most entertaining part for a good while there, while they were showing Alonso going at it with Esteban Ocon.
Yeah, who was that? The Alpine. That was
Alpine, pink cars. Now the Alpines are pink this year. You know, it does get a little confusing when they change names and car colors to other.
They were pink last year too.
No, they were not pink last year. There was no pink cars last year.
No,
the
this
pink
is the
cars,
first year
the
pink cars.
Yes, not the first year, but the previous cars that were pink are the cars that are green now, which is the two Aston Martins when they were Force India.
Oh, that's right.
And that other team that they were pink, right? But then that's not the team that turned pink now. The team that turned pink now, which is Alpine, it used to be Renault, which used to be the black and yellow cars. So,
well, and so,
luckily I'm good with these numbers and the color schemes and the cars, but man, it's starting to get a little complicated even for me.
So I'm watching Drive to Survive now. I'm actually a couple of episodes in. I watched one episode at Gio's house and I got kind of hooked on it. And now I've watched a second episode, the Lando Norris, Daniel Ricciardo episode. And I'm going to mow right through them. It's not that hard. I recommend everybody do it. If you've got access to Netflix somehow, some way, you got to catch up. But the only thing that's a challenge is that it's last year, right? And so now we're into a new year. So everything that's happening out there right now is not applicable to what was happening necessarily last year, or maybe it is. But I think it's very valuable to catch up. They're about an hour each, 50 minutes, 40 minutes. Very fast moving, very worthwhile. And we read that article about Lando and Daniel Ricciardo not really liking the way that they were portrayed. And now I understand it, right? Daniel, they made him out to be, the weakling in the two, right? Like, hey, Danny's going to come over and he's going to be so great. This guy's going to be so great. He's going to be fast. He's going to be fast. I thought that was very unfair to him, though. And I'll tell you why. Lando Norris has been driving a McLaren for 3 years. He's been developing a McLaren with them for 3 years. And you take this guy who has not been driving a McLaren, has not been part of the team, and you just throw him in there and you expect him to be up to speed or faster than the guy who's been there the 3 years. I don't think that that's a reasonable expectation. Like, I don't think that's a reasonable expectation at all for those guys to have. But they did. And that's the way they cut the show.
But maybe that's the way, but that's not necessarily, it's for drama, man. It's got a little drama. Oh, we thought Ricciardo, the big name, who's got 6 or 7 wins, is going to come in here, right? Doesn't he? Am I exaggerating?
Yeah, 7 wins. No, he had said several times, 7 wins. But see, that's the thing. Is
and then,
we haven't
seen it. They didn't show it there, but he actually got a win last year, right? Didn't he get a win in that car? I believe he did. He ends up winning a race. Didn't he win Monaco or something? Or he wins a race. We'll look it up, but I'm almost positive that he wins a race. And
it doesn't matter though, because the benefits of a Drive to Survive far outweigh the minor annoyances of you weren't portrayed exactly accurately, because everybody's watching the show, and I understand why they're watching the show. And now I've watched
Italy last year, for the record.
2 episodes. Monza. There it is. So he goes out there and he does it, and you get a little insight into it. But my goodness, the relationship with Charles and Carlos, these guys, like, wow, you see they're buddies, and it makes me feel good about this year that we had last year as that like bonding. And now they're set to go and run well and run for a constructors championship here in 2022. Ferrari starting off like they've got cars that can finish in the top 5. Yeah, they've got cars that can finish in the top 5 at most races. I am a little stunned that Red Bull is as good as they are, given that they battled to the last lap of the last race last year. Like, they were developing a great car the whole time, and Mercedes not so great. And, you know, Lewis, they're kicking Lewis around. Mercedes with their no air vent design, it's not working so great just yet. But we'll get into all of that.
But I mean, it's not like they're running in the back. I mean, what's his name? Russell is running 5th and 6th basically every week. So it's Lewis is not, the car is not up to his liking or up to whatever the situation is. But it's not like they completely fell off the earth. They're running third, you know, and third behind Ferrari and Red Bull.
Yeah, they are the third fastest. So remember, Lewis got a podium in the first race last week.
Right.
And then this week he started, way back and finished.
Yeah, he had issues qualifying this week. For whatever reason, he couldn't get the car out of Q1.
Right.
And he started, I think, 16th. But I was questioning the not pitting earlier to get tire strategy by them, and it kind of ended up biting them. Remember, they ended up pitting way too late after that second virtual safety car, which, but hey, it is what it is. Those racetracks like that, and especially there where it's a high-speed course and they wreck a lot. But the first safety car screws Checo, and then the virtual one at the end screws Ferrari and gives the race kind of to Max. And so it kind of, I get the feeling that Checo might not have lost if, he might have been led end to end if the strategy just unfolds without the safety cars coming in when they did.
Yeah, that was definitely bad racing luck. No other way to say it.
Because I would have preferred for Checo to win over Max. No offense, but just let him.
Me too. But really, I wanted Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz to finish 1-2, and
back to back 1 and 2s. I mean, we don't want too much. I mean, what are we, like Ferrari fans or something?
Right. Exactly. But Verstappen wins. Charles Leclerc second. Carlos Sainz third. Sergio Perez, George Russell, Esteban Ocon, Lando Norris seventh. Pierre Gasly, Kevin Magnussen, and Lewis Hamilton rounding out the top 10. Mick Schumacher involved in a horrific, nightmarish crash in qualifying, in the second session of qualifying. He did not race. And you got to, Kevin Magnussen. Guy's been good, man. The Haas's. It's about how you finish, though. And will they be able to keep up with the development race? That is Formula One. That is the question. But some really great and exciting battling. Fernando Alonso and Ocon and the Alpines we were talking about. Great stuff. Just good racing. The cars look good. They look fast. They look cool. They look better than the previous year. Now that I'm fully adapted, it was great stuff. All right, let's bring on the Patreons. Like, we've got, who's out there? We've got Matt Clark is out there, and Britt is out there, and Derek is out there, and Bobby's Bug Barn. Bug Barn is back, and Sue Morris is there, and she's rocking her VP Racing Fuel shirt. And look,
nice.
I've got a VP Racing Fuel patch here, and I didn't.
Hey.
Now, VP Racing Fuel is back.
I have to make one.
They're on WFO. We welcomed them this week. They're starting for a little while, and maybe longer. VP Racing Fuels. And so everybody in the audience, if you know someone at VP, Freddie or those guys, shout out that you heard about it on WFO, VP Racing Fuels. And we're going to be doing a little bit more with those guys. And it's great, but exciting. Sue, did you wear that by accident, or did you wear it on purpose?
Did I wear it by accident?
Is that an accident?
Come on, this is not an accident.
Okay.
I heard the great news. That's fantastic. VP has helping out WFO.
Before me, like, what? There's people getting inside information over here.
Wait, there was a show on earlier today.
There was a show on earlier, Gio. So Gio doesn't.
You're getting awfully tense over there.
Yeah, exactly. What? There was a show earlier. No, Gio doesn't have to do that stuff anymore, and so he's steps out of. And the Monday shows don't happen on a regular basis. The Monday show is more of a desperation play to get Trip Tatum on before the 4 wide at Vegas. Because Reinhardt's on Tuesday at desperation, like, Monday. And last week was, I guess I could have been around on Friday last week, except then I would have had to come back from the beach. That was not an option. the big spring break last week. Karen Stouffer was on, but there was rest, there was relaxation. It was great. And we proved one of the great principles of physics. An object in motion tends to stay in motion. An object at rest, oh man, it's hard to get it going again. And that's what I'm experiencing right now. It's really hard to get back going to the speed I was going at the end of the previous week. I was flying. I was WFO. I was knocking it all out. We were doing everything. And then 1 week off.
You're just recharging the batteries. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. You'll be WFO by tomorrow.
Hope
You got to charge back up. You'll be ready to go.
Hope so. That's exactly right. It'll help me.
DRS.
That's right. DRS. Exactly.
That's what it was. It was. No, but it was well needed. I mean, you know, every once in a while you got to disconnect. You got to take a break. And that's exactly what we did. But really good stuff. Glad that you're wearing that logo. And thanks to the folks at VP and everybody who has jumped on board. If you're out there listening, thank you so much for supporting WFO, because it's not me. It's the WFO universe, right? It's like this collection of people who we all get together and have a great time. And it's been pretty amazing to watch it grow over the years, to watch it grow and to take on the life of its own with people out there doing their own things to support the show and our sponsors, etc. Now let's give some NASCAR results, and then we'll do open discussion on the whole Formula One, NASCAR, new cars, everything that went down, sports collision, etc., and so on. I will be muting Bobby Graham just because I hear, Bobby, you got a squeaky chair there, bud. That's what it is. You got to get some WD-40. They got a product out there that, I bet VP has got some sort of spray lubricant, right? We're going to have to really dig
I'm
deep
guaranteed to have a lubricant that'll help
I'm
you
sure
out.
If I could find something that wouldn't stain this wood floor, I'll be all after it.
right? Like the Tin Man, you get that old school oil can that goes one way or the other. But anyway, Bobby can either sit there totally motionless, or we'll mute. Either way, Bobby, you can control it. But Circuit of the Americas, road courses are the new Bristol and Austin, Texas, and Ross Chastain, Alex Bowman, and Christopher Bell, the top three. But really, it was AJ Allmendinger up there in the middle of it all. And, Chase Elliott, Tyler Reddick, Ryan Blaney, Martin Truex Jr., Austin Cindric, Eric Jones, and Austin Dillon rounding out the top 10. But it was AJ Allmendinger who he got it going on and started, trying to make a move. He was going to knock Ross Chastain, who was leading and the rightful winner. But AJ Allmendinger was going to try to force the issue and knock him off the track and get by and steal the win, which I admired greatly. Thank you for doing that, AJ Allmendinger, creating one of the best finishes we've seen. And that's what it's supposed to be. And that's what road courses on the new Bristol is all about. Guys not accepting second, going up there and doing something a little bit questionable, and guys fighting back, multiple corners, multiple offs. Everybody was off. They were all off. It was as exciting as I think it can be. And wow, what a great race. And in the end, though, the Watermelon Man takes a watermelon, smashes it into the track, and then eats the watermelon right there on TV. He's got a seed right on him. Ross Chastain wins the race, a very popular victory. Let's hear what he did, right? Because he did what he did, Ross Chastain.
I mean, I didn't draw it up that way in my head, but yeah, I did what I did. I stand by it.
Yeah, he did what he did. Is there more Ross Chastain? I think it is. After the Circuit of the Americas win, let's hear it.
I don't know how I could have ever scripted my career, and the people that I met along the way, the people that I hurt along the way, the people that I wronged along the way, but it's all gotten me here one way or the other. And then partway through last year, I've said it in several interviews lately. I know why I keep bringing it up because it helped me, but Mike Metcalf gave me a book called It Takes What It Takes, and it just reset my whole mindset. And I didn't get worked up today when we had the lead. I didn't get too high, and I didn't get too low whenever we lost the lead to Tyler. It is what it is. And think neutral and go get it in the next opportunity.
It takes what it takes. I did what I did. It is what it is. Like, this guy he is a wealth of wisdom.
Be neutral. Don't get too high. Don't get too low.
Right. Amazing. Well, I like him, though. I can tell you that. I like him, and the whole Justin Marks and Trackhouse and Pitbull and that whole group. wow, are they developing into like the next gen powerhouse? Are they developing in like we had the first couple eras of NASCAR and, you know, Petty Enterprises, and then Richard Childress Racing and Hendrick Motorsports and Joe Gibbs, and like who's going to be the next team? You know, like who's going to be the next new team? It can't just be Roush and
Stuart Haas. You forgot
Stuart Haas, right? Like there's got to be
Shane
a
Haas,
new.
you know, brought in Tony for that thing. Remember, he used to just have those two cars toiling around the back of the track.
Well, they were Ginn. Remember, they were Ginn. Those Ginn resorts,
right? But
like this Trackhouse Racing, I think it's awesome.
I think it's great, but let's not forget they didn't just come from the back too. They did buy, you know, what's the captain stuff? Not the captain, sorry,
Chip Ganassi.
Yep, they bought Chip's old stuff, so it's not like you know, they have. I guess it's a new car, but at least they bought a big shop and they're. You know, they got some they didn't just open the restaurant from scratch. They bought a restaurant that had closed and got all the equipment that was in there. You know, they got a little bit of a head start somewhat.
A lot bit of a head start. And I think that's probably the way you do it. And that is also, I think, the I don't want to give total credit to the charter program, but maybe that does have something to do with it.
Oh, I think it absolutely does.
Because something of value. Well, like Chip Ganassi could have sold the business, but would he have sold the business the way he did if he wouldn't have gotten the money that he got for it?
Right. He would have gotten the money for the building and for the infrastructure of what, you know, but pennies on the dollar for everything else.
Some more chassis, and at that point he might not have bothered to even sell it because it wouldn't have been worth selling. He would have done something different.
No, I definitely think that the charter system has benefited the ownership and NASCAR in general because it allows a team like Trackhouse to come in and buy a charter and you know, definitely come to their sponsors and tell them, look, we're guaranteed we're going to start every race and so forth. But the new car is, you know, we can't argue that it's been anything but a smashing success. And no pun intended with the smashing. But, you know, we've had 6 races, 6 different winners, which that we can't say it's a product entirely of the new car because that happens, you know, crazy like that every few years. I think last year we had 7 or 8 different winners to start the season. And I remember a couple of years ago, I think we might have gone into the 10s or 12 before we had a repeat winner. But I will say we've had 3 first-time winners out of those 6 winners, which that I think is definitely a product of the newer car and, you know, a team like Trackhouse and guys like Chastain and what we had Cindric won a race. Is that won the race?
Yep.
And so if you dig deeper, we've had 3 new winners, 3 first-time winners also, and 3 Hendrick winners is what it is. And so if you want to go even deeper than that, I predict that next week we're going to have either a first-time winner or Chase Elliott's going to win the race.
One or the other, right?
Martinsville?
Exactly. Richmond, right?
Richmond, that's right. Yeah. Richmond.
I like that Chase Elliott pick, by the way. Let me give the rest of the results, and then we'll dive back in, get some thoughts and opinions from everybody. Kevin Harvick, which, by the way, guys, I keep threatening to do this, but this one might end up on YouTube. Like, it's possible this one could end up on YouTube. And for those of you watching on YouTube later on, this is Ignition. It's an audio-only experience, except maybe it shouldn't be. Maybe it should be up there on YouTube. And we've got Sue down there, and we got Bobby Graham down there, and then Giovanni. He's over there. And this is the crew, but not just the folks that you see. There are a lot of other people who are out there. Like Jeff is out there. He says, I'm late. He goes, I haven't been a NASCAR fan, but if it was like this the whole time, I would have been. And that's exactly the point. We've had a couple of great races. NASCAR did go through a valley for a couple of years, but I think it's coming out of the valley. Like, everyone now realizes that all their favorite drivers have long since left, and they got to pick new people. And the new people have been around long enough to make you either like them or not. And you probably have got a couple of new people like this Ross Chastain. What's not to like? And he says in his quote, all the people that I've hurt and all the people that I did bad things to. Yeah, you shouldn't say that stuff, Ross, because now we want to know who they are. Who did you hurt, Ross? What are you referencing, Ross? What do you mean, Ross? And he's really just talking about any career, right? Like you go through life, people help you. Maybe you do things that you realize at a later date probably wasn't the best, or you leave someone hanging out there. Like who knows? But I'm excited for the kid. I'm excited for the sport. You got a bunch of great young personality. I mean, they're all right. Their personalities are just okay, but their driving is good, and the car can take a licking. That's it. That's it. Derek is out there. He wants to know what Jason Galvin comes from. Like, where does Jason Galvin live? What kind of a thing is that to ask, Derek? Where does Jason Galvin live? Because it seems like they're eliminating racetrack near our NHRA announcers. First Loans. Yeah, but Loans, he's still got his track.
Oh, it's still around.
Yeah. Then Joe, Palm Beach, and now Alan. That's a very witty comment you're putting out there, Derek. I agree.
Wow.
Yeah. Why'd you have to bring it down, man?
Oh, wow.
Losing Wild Horse Pass. It's not Derek. Derek was at Funny Car Chaos this past week. He's okay. Darn, I can't be on today. Just in chat, says Olson's Trailblazers. Thank you, Olson. We will we'll
Duly noted.
Duly noted.
We miss you.
Duly noted. All right, here's the rest of the results.
Incident with Olson's Trailblazer noted.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Put it in the file. Echo Park Automotive Grand Prix at the Circuit of the Americas, which I just thought was a great race, like super fun. Kevin Harvick was 11th. William Byron was 12th. We already gave you the top 10. Michael McDowell, Brad Keselowski, Justin Haley. Brad Keselowski hit a lot of people out there, man. Justin Haley, 15th. Todd Gilliland, 16th. Harrison Burton, 17th. Denny Hamlin, 18th. Eric Almirola, 19th. Ty Dillon, 20th. Chris Buescher, 21st. On back, Josh Bilicki, Cole Custer, Daniel Suarez, who had a very quick car. Kaz Gralla, Boris Said, Cody Ware, Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson. They both ended up in the back, involved in a late race incident. Couple. Chase Briscoe, Joey Logano, Kurt Busch, AJ Allmendinger, who was running second with the white flag out, finishes 33rd. What is it? Loris Hesmans, Joey Hand, Corey LaJoy, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Bubba Wallace, and Andy Lally. And that is your field. Notice the whole road course ringer thing, which had kind of disappeared, came back again. Like they went out and got a whole bunch of these road course guys, like Boris said, and stuff, and put them in cars to get out there. I think that the sequential the gear shift was like this. This is where these cars were supposed to thrive, and I thought that they did. Like, what are you doing with an H pattern shifter on a road course in 2022? And they're not. And so I think it was pretty cool. Thoughts on the race? Jump in, Sue or Bobby. What do you got?
I actually didn't watch. I didn't want to make it any worse than it already was.
Yeah, Bobby, you had some health issues, didn't you? I saw you.
Yeah,
Posting pornography. I saw that. It's horrible, Bob.
There was leg involved in foot.
Pictures of
No pornography.
Yeah, naked feet. Tweeting pictures of his
it's not supposed
feet.
It's not supposed to be sideways like that, is it?
The one purple one and the one in normal color.
Well, one is gout fold and one is kind of normal.
Yeah.
Well,
sorry, Bobby.
Well, we hope you're walking better, Bobby.
Well, I was for 2 days, and now the knee give out. So it's ongoing. It's ongoing.
Well,
but
the thing
mentally,
is,
I'm good. I'm good.
You're mentally, I'm good. You see, you're walking, you're favoring one of your feet, and that's causing you to hurt yourself. That's the problem.
Bobby, you need to go Will Smith on that doctor with that gave you the wrong medicine. That's all I gotta say.
Exactly.
I got a club in here.
Yeah, the Will Smith thing. We'll talk
but
about
I can't
that.
outrun him.
No, you can't outrun him. You can't even walk up to him.
Just make sure you get the first one in good.
That's right. I gotta get the first one in.
Olson's Trailblazers in the chat says, I had AJ on my team this week. So bummed. Good race overall, though. Yeah, let's talk fantasy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, wait, yeah. Southern Racer X won the week. 367. What's that like in your household, Sue?
He was jumping up and down. Winner! He's like, I'm still way low, but winner!
He did 367 by 1 over Jersey Racing, 366. Craig and Newhall, 354. Clausen Racing, 350. Hebrews 12-1, 346. Hockey Dad, 344. Keen Racing, 337. Dirt 99, 333, along with Beer Rita. And Jambalaya J, 326, rounding out the top 10. The most points was Southern Racer X, a.k.a. Dave Morris, 367, gained 16 points, but wasn't the biggest gainer. Hebrews 12-1 Racing, up 19 positions. And the biggest loser, Trophy Wife, 442, 162. What's up, Trophy Wife? Down 22.
Oh, no.
Yep. The overall leader is Dirt 99 by 9 over Hockey Dad. Oh, my gosh. If Hockey Dad could become the champ, he and Hockey Kid would be the only father-son WFO Radio Fantasy League World Champions. I know it's a little early to start talking about that, guys. 2 races in.
There's a lot of racing to go.
Don't blow it, Hockey Dad. If he puts in the kind of dedication, if he puts in the kind of dedication he does to his running, he'll definitely be the champ.
Oh, wow.
What?
Pressure.
Is that bad? Well, it is. It is. And I've got to make an admission. I'm going to admit something terrible here, relatively speaking, of course.
Did you not set your team again?
For the last 3-4 weeks, I didn't. Except I did something even worse. But it's fantasy, and so I was rewarded. I'll tell you in a minute. Hockey Dad second, Craig and Newhall third, Clausen Racing fourth, Gio in Miami. Gained none. Woo! 95 out.
I don't need to gain any spots. I can sit in 5th all year long, just coasting and drafting back here to the last 10 weeks.
Day Racing 21, 6th, Keen Racing 7th, Sacramento Racing Fan 8th, Aviator Racing 9th, Los Chincones 10th.
Former champ,
exactly. Who's posting stuff on social media he shouldn't be posting.
Uh-oh.
But no, he did an OnlyFans joke that like got everybody, and they were all mad at him. It's like, hey, times are tough. I've started an OnlyFans about me, and you click on it, and then it's like, shame on you for doing this. It was pretty. Yeah, people were very angry at him. They were irate. We saw it low. 11th, Chicken Pit Special. 12th, Jambalaya J. 13th, Ray Indy. 14th, Stubo up 4. Sue 177 back.
You're catching up.
You're catching up. You're having a good year. Olson's Trailblazers 15th. Barbecue Bob 16th. Elephant Racers 17th.
Dan.
Rich and Saugus 18th. Where's Dan been? Long time. Hope he's still
He's playing Frisbee.
Frolf, I believe it's called.
Whatever.
No, I believe it's called Ultimate. I don't know what it's
Ultimate Frisbee World Champion over there. That
he is. He's probably nationally ranked right now.
Well, that's probably a great, thing.
He's better than the last time we saw him. He was nationally ranked. Elephant Racers 17th, Rich and Saugus 18th, Texas Outlaw 19th, Bad Brad 20th, Northwest Nitro Fanatics 21st, 22nd, Mr. Fantasy NASCAR down 3 guys. He's only
way to go, former champ. Drop the anchor.
He is the champ, not former champ. He's the current champ. 2-time.
Is he the current champ? Oh my goodness, horrible.
Yes.
Is he already a 2-time champion?
Yes, he's the current 2-time champ. Rich and Saugus. What's going on? Rich York is no longer the only multi-time WFO Fantasy League champion, Mr. Fantasy NASCAR.
This guy's going to pass Rich.
He probably is going to pass Rich. Zamboni John 23rd, Bogan Bill 24th, El Jefe 25th, Gareth Senkow 26th, tied with Dirty Hippies, except the Dirty Hippies is down 17 positions, guys.
No, that didn't work out.
One of the biggest losers.
Ouch.
Smothered and Covered, past champion. Turned left. Highline, Real Fine, Intimidator lives number 3. The Stoge, Cervix Splitter, Willie B Racing, and on back. Dragster Jeff, and Utah Drifter. I'm just kind of going down, perusing. There's Hockey Kid, past champ, right below Team English, and ahead of Thug Life Motorsports. And JJ Husker fan. There he is. WFO Joe, up 6, 51st. 341 points out of the lead.
Where's Southern Racer? You still haven't said his name. Wasn't he up like 20 positions?
He was up 16 spots to 56.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope you didn't let him celebrate too much, too.
No. As he said, he was back there with Bobby.
Oh, yeah, man. That bad.
And Gray.
He was keeping Bobby company the last few weeks.
You know what they say, right? Some people are so far behind in the race, they actually think they're winning.
Yeah. Team Gray, 72nd. Fleetree and Pickle Rick and everybody is way back there, but they're all ahead of Bughorn. Come on, Bobby. You got to try harder, man. Got to try, Bobby.
Miller Man is way back there.
Now you got to unmute yourself now, Bobby.
We can unmute him.
I tried. I studied my list, went through it 2 or 3 times and said, okay, let's try not to wreck out this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How'd that work out?
Didn't work out too good. Chase Elliott was my only savior there that kept me from dropping all the way to the bottom.
Got it. So Monica says, let's see, Olsen Trailblazer, I had AJ on my team this week. So bummed. Good race overall. Monica, let's not talk fantasy. I think we better send Joe reminders. Yeah, you should. And at least
I
I'm ahead
don't think
of
so. He's winning with his past crew.
That's right.
That's true. Well, I did. So
Don't help him, Monica. Don't help him.
Don't help him, Monica.
I placed, when I was in Las Vegas a week ago, I placed a $20 wage on Kyle Larson and I lost. And then this week I came back and I was planning on resetting my team and I didn't get around to it. So then Sunday morning I brought it up and I'm looking at my drivers and I just shuffled amongst the team. But I had to choose between Daniel Suarez and AJ Allmendinger. And stupid me, this is what we're dealing with here. That's how disconnected I am from this. I have got multiple starts on Suarez and I've got no starts on Allmendinger, and I didn't start Allmendinger. And there he is with 2 laps to go, about to win the race. And I'm feeling terrible, except then he crashed out and finished 33rd. And I actually gained 6 positions, guys. This fantasy stuff is easy. You can just do whatever you want. You have no right or like, I was feeling terrible about myself all day. I forgot my team again. I'm the host of the show. I tell everybody how big a deal it is. They can get their name on the trophy back there, and I'm not even doing it.
You sent a push in the morning.
I did.
Yeah.
Well, no, I did shuffle my team amongst
the morning of Sunday morning. Okay.
All right, that's true. You would have had to have changed it prior to Saturday morning. Although I will say this, it gives you that extra day of having to change it before Saturday instead of Friday, like when it used to be Friday qualifying.
Yes,
definitely saved me, but not enough because I've had the same team for about 3 or 4 weeks now too. I've got like 7 allocations already left on all 4 of these guys that were in there,
right.
On the backup and the starters.
Dragster Jeff says his team crashed out. We all crashed out, but hey, this is it. This is part of the league. You got to deal with it. I have changed my team for Richmond. Thank you very much. I got 4 new guys in there, 8 new guys that I'll probably end up leaving for the next 6 weeks. But in the meantime, we're making moves. So good luck in the WFO Radio Fantasy League. Sue, did you watch Formula One? We talked Formula One before you came on, but I want to give you the opportunity and everybody the opportunity to, say what you think about what we've seen so far. Max wins the race, but you got Ferrari second and third. And it was the way it happened, I think, is the story. It was exciting. There was battles and battling back. Jensen Button was talking about it the whole time. Like, this is something we haven't seen. It used to be you passed the guy and he was gone and you didn't have to deal with him again. And now you do. You can battle back and you can stay on his bumper and they can swap the lead. And even letting the guy pass you so that you could pass him back in the DRS zone. Like, that's all kind of new. And I found it to be just wildly exciting. What about you?
Well, I mean, you were watching the coverage and they were actually covering back in, 9th and 10th. Now, granted, I know Lois was back there, but still you were watching the battling going on throughout the field. I have to say, I'm impressed this year, 2022, the Formula One, the new cars, the way they're performing, and again, everybody's struggling with the new cars and trying to figure out the new combination. And, Total Wolf has said they messed up they tried something with Hamilton. Well, at least that's what he said. They tried something with Hamilton. It didn't work. But it's great seeing the side-by-side battle, and it's actually great seeing the passing. And, when the wings open up, it's freaking cool with the new cars. I mean,
it just looks so much cooler now,
it's
right?
Yeah, it's just
everybody's
cool.
wing is more ergonomic, or I don't know what they decided to do, but it just looks like super spaceship like now. When it opens up, it's like, whoa.
They did.
Yeah.
And I guess you're right, the big air ducts that everybody's got except Mercedes. It definitely looks very spaceship-like, and like it's about to go in full flight.
Yeah.
They did. Well, they did. And remember, though, how did they accomplish this? Right? Like, they reduced a lot of the aerodynamic stuff. They did the ground effects, but whatever they did, it definitely, the cars look more futuristic. They look, they maybe we were just used to it, but a lot less right angles, right? Like the old wing was like a lot of right angles, right? Like a flat piece, and it just opened up. And now it looks like something you might see in a future space movie or something. I think we should expand the movable aerodynamic parts to the front wings as well. Like, let's
well, Mercedes had those years ago. Remember when they were
right,
cheap?
the flexible one. But let's get more stuff moving, man, because it's just been awesome. It's been fun. And I started to say I watched Drive to Survive, the first 2 episodes, and now I'm in full binge watch mode. I'm going to power through it as rapidly as is possible, and I encourage everyone with a Netflix account access to do it because it is really good. And everyone's been telling me this for a couple of years, and I haven't done it because I had wanted to start from the beginning and catch up and see everything. And, I was procrastinating because I couldn't see it from the beginning. And I decided, kill that. Just start with this season. Just jump in now. And it's a much better deal.
What a great idea.
Yeah.
Wow. Phenomenal.
Yeah. Forget the stuff from the past. Just start now.
Look, I'll tell you, I didn't watch them from season 1 either. I started at season 3 and then went 3, 2, 1. And it helped you, refresh a little bit either, since they're already 1 year in the rears.
Yes.
Just catch up with with season 4, because that's what happened last season, and it's still fresh in your mind, and it's going to give you a lot of the background. And wait till you get to the middle, to the end, when they start talking about, Max versus Lewis and the incidents that start and all that.
I can't wait. I'm there's so much insight.
3 episodes in particular.
And did you finish? You finised.
Yes.
You can tell us you finished. Why? Are you keeping that from family members?
Yeah.
We were supposed to watch together.
Bad Gio.
Yeah, I can.
No, man. I read the the little paragraph where it tells you what's going to happen.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Jeff is out there. He says the F1 Mercedes at PRI was amazing and close up in person. Well, exactly. And that's the thing. That's what made that such a big deal. And it's up on my Instagram feed. And it didn't do nearly as well as I thought that a up close walkover of Lewis Hamilton's Formula One Mercedes would have done, which is how I know that social media is all BS and they restrict you, because it was like we were all over that thing. Like we were right on top of it, looking at everything up close and personal. It was amazing. It's a work of art. To be able to see the Formula One cars that up close was great. And now this year's cars are totally different. That's probably why we got to see last year's car, because it was going to be irrelevant, right? Like it was an irrelevant piece of technology. And that's why there was a Red Bull and the Mercedes were there. I see UKEV is out there watching. So we do have the worldwide audience. We have got the United Kingdom. We've got Australia. Matt is out there. He's working on like naval ships today. That is great. Monica says she's got to bounce. Time to do some test study review with AJ for school. Is it summer yet? AJ says hi. Have a great weekend, everyone. WFO.
Hey, Monica, how's that snow? Snow squalls in PA. What's up with that?
It's not snowing up there, is it?
They had snow squalls. I'm telling you.
Oh my gosh, what a nightmare. No, we'll see Monica when we go to Maple Grove. She says it did snow.
I was complaining that the beach water was a little bit cold.
Oh.
Beach water was a little bit cold. The beach
was actually quite cold. And it was very rough too, super choppy. You had to keep moving. The current would take you. It was definitely not good for tourists. If you were from none of the tourists were in the water. You could tell the only people in the water were definitely Floridians.
Can I ask you? Can I ask you a question?
What's that?
Why do you hate Monica? She's talking about how it just snowed, and you're talking about the wonderful beach experience you had. The water temperature was not exactly optimal.
I know. I just was thinking, man,
he did leave out what the temperature is or was.
The extremes of weather, we're over here, where we're complaining because it's hot and we got to crank the AC, and she's over there cranking the heater.
Yeah, and it's about to be April, which is why I got the heck out of Washington, D.C. after one winter. What is going on? It's March. Where's the snow? It doesn't. It's not over until mid-April. What?
Dude, Puxatawny Phil saw his shadow or didn't see his shadow or whatever happened. He said more winter.
Monica says, dang, Gio. And she thanks me for support.
Sorry, Monica.
Well, it was.
You're welcome to come on down to sunny South Florida anytime you like.
That is very true, Monica. You are welcome. You're welcome to come
Or
down.
the Carolinas, Monica, anytime.
It
Come
is
on down.
There it is. No, well, we'll see Monica later on in the year when we go up to Maple Grove. Thanks, Monica. At least I cannot be the biggest loser, says Bobby about the fantasy league.
Oh.
And don't get out of the boat, says Dragster Jeff. Yeah, exactly. He was out there racing this past weekend. Monica, thank you. Good luck to AJ with the test, right? Children are the future. Get them out there. Good grades. That's what I always tell the Gray. Get good grades. She says, bye. Excellent. So once she vacates, then we can talk about how beautiful the water was on vacation.
Okay.
Now, so with
Well,
Gio,
the grades be nice and actually, instead of getting good grades.
Show a picture maybe of the beach, and
I took no pictures. I took. It was Rip Current.
I saw something on Instagram.
Something like just an alert that I was at the beach, but there was a warning like don't go in the water. Going in the water is not advised. And
that's exactly what it said. Yep.
It was very windy, and that causes rip currents, which I don't know if people
out
out there know
what
a rip current is. But see, as locals and all you kids out there, don't listen to us. We have expertise in swimming in this kind of weather. I loved it. It was fantastic. Like I love being in a churning ocean where I can still touch the ground. I'm not like over my head or anything. I can touch it. It's about like, 4.5 feet, 5 feet right near the shore. And the waves were just crashing down. It was awesome. And if you got into the water, like in front of wherever your beach camp is, within 10 minutes, you're a quarter of a mile down the beach. Like it's taking you very rapidly down the coast. And it was just a very, very fun and tiring and exhausting experience. And that's when you realize, as good as you feel at almost 50 years old, you're definitely not 11, because the kid did not run out of energy one time. And we had to work in shifts. Get in there, Gio. Gio's trying. No, man, I want to know. You got to get in there. The kid's like, come on, Dad, let me go. And we rotated. I thought we shared the
He's not kidding. It was one after the other. It's all right. Your turn. It was like a tag team.
Well, hey, he was making up. He was making up for that downtime.
Exactly. Come on, let's go in the water. Let's go in the water. Okay, we're going in the water. And it was awesome. It was a great experience. Very relaxing. West Palm Beach, Florida, for those that are interested in knowing exactly where. But if you're a listener, rip currents, don't mess around with them. And if you get caught in a rip current, you got to swim
with the current,
parallel to the shore, and go with the current, because you can end up in the middle of the Atlantic.
Well, in our case, it was bringing us in, but just up the shore.
It was bringing us up the shore, but at some point, all that water goes back out to sea, and that's what people get caught in. And they try to swim against the current to get back to the shore, and that doesn't work. You've got to swim parallel to the shore to get out of the rip current. And that's what people don't know. And that's why they're lifeguards. Packing up and heading to Florida. LOL, says Monica. Excellent stuff. Excellent. UKEV says that the Mercedes is going to get a new floor for the next race, which is exciting. A new floor for Mercedes in Australia. They're trying something. The announcers are very keen to talk about how Lewis and problems and everything. The car is vastly different than every other car out there. They were trying something and it didn't fully work. That's my layman's assessment of what's going on with Mercedes. They tried something and it didn't fully work, but that doesn't mean it's not going to ever work. So we'll see what happens when they get some updates, and they could maybe go right to the front. And one of the things that Michael Heiner was talking about was the size of the vents on the Mercedes, which are nearly non-existent. It's just like a little fish gill, like a slit, whereas everybody else still has a, sizable air intake to cool everything. Mercedes is doing it in a different way. They're not leading just yet, but I'm not writing them off. Not after what I've seen over the past few years. I fully
give them time. Give them time.
And that's what I'm worried about. Haas F1. They're looking good, but can they keep up in the development race? That is the question. Kevin Magnussen.
It all depends. What do you expect? Do you expect them to keep up with Red Bull, Mercedes, and Ferrari? Well, the answer is no.
No, I want them to stay right where they are, getting points,
With
mid-pack.
McLaren and those guys for being, fifth, sixth best team in the field, then yeah, that I think they that's what we would like to see. But I don't expect those other teams also to have that kind of super development, number one. And number two, we're talking budget cap era, my friend. They can only spend so much now. It's not like before that they just go in there and have unlimited funds and unlimited time and unlimited use of all the Ferrari money and manufacturer money coming in from Mercedes and the Red Bull, wings all over that everybody drinks and sends them money in exchange for a beverage. but I do think that they can keep up
all that beverage money. Would be another way to say it. The beverage money from Red Bull. Red Bull money.
Well, because think about it. You got Mercedes and Ferrari and all the stuff that they do, and Red Bull's out there. Yeah, we sell this damn drink to make everybody be able to stay up all night and party.
That's it. A party drink gives you wings. It definitely does.
I mean, it's no rich energy, but then again, what is?
What is rich energy?
Yeah, what is it?
What is rich energy? Nobody knows. Well, just looking at the sheet, right? Kevin Magnussen was ninth. So in a perfect world, both Haas would be capable of getting points on a regular basis. But who are the people that are going to well, Lewis finished 10th, so he's obviously going to go up there. And George Russell is going to be up there. And you're going to have both Ferraris and both Red Bulls and both Mercedes. So there's 6 positions in the top 10 that are already taken. And then you have 4 positions available for points. And so you're going to be fighting with McLaren. And you're going to be fighting with, Aston Martin, Alpha, and there's your battle, right? Like you should be better than the Williams. It's going to be tough.
And the Alpine, right?
If they can stay,
the same battle of a couple years ago. Remember when Haas was actually running pretty decent before the old development? It was Haas, Renault, and McLaren all competing there for that being, the 4th, 5th best team.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. And so my point is if they can just develop their way into staying where they are, getting points, catching a break, maybe having a really good day, that's all we ask. And by the way, I think they'll make a lot of money if they can do that. If you can be like an 8th place runner, some days a 6th place runner, and on your worst days in the teens, avoid what happened with Mick, but that was obviously a terrible situation. We're lucky he's okay, really. That was a nasty hit.
Well, the fact that he came back the next day, and granted, I know we all say we don't feel any pain, but he looked fine. Even when he was talking, he wasn't aching the following day, or at least that's what he said, and there was no injuries. The car did what it was supposed to do. As scary as it was, the car did what it was supposed to do by coming apart.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I mean, it was starting to get loose before it actually crashed. But look, there's a lot of promise there with Haas. K-Mag, you can't say it was a fluke. He was up there being competitive. And I think if Mick wouldn't have happened, had the wreck, he would have been up there qualifying. Not as good as K-Mag because he's still learning, right? I mean, he's getting there. But he has the skills. He has the talent. And we'll see what Haas does. So, but it's definitely looking promising.
And he's running about 6th or 7th in both races, but he ended up there also was on the pit strategy. They had the hard tire at first and we're going to run long like Lewis. And when the safety car came out, everybody got new tires and they didn't. And they ended up having to stop again later on, assuming everybody was on 2-stop strategy, but everybody quickly shifted to the 1-stop. And just went, from mediums to hard and never stopped again. And it kind of, it ruined the day for Haas and for Lewis. Because Lewis, I think, had been running about 5th or 6th right behind George Russell the rest of the afternoon too.
Yeah,
exactly. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Now, Gio, do you recommend, can I skip ahead to the Haas F1 episode of Drive to Survive? Can I skip around in there, or do I have to watch them in order?
I think it's only like the 4th or 5th one, so you might, just go in order, man.
Okay.
When we get out of here, you could kill 2.
No, I only kill one a night, right? I got other stuff I got to do. We got Will is down there for the very first time checking in on WFO. Had his camera on for a quick second now, just listening. Welcome to the Patreons. Thank you so much for supporting radio. Yeah,
Will's probably real popular today.
I'm gonna pop Will on there for a second. There he is. He's got his hat. He's driving. He's trucking. What are you doing, Will?
I'm just working, Joe. How are you, mate?
Great. Now you're in Australia as well. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, I'm from Australia, mate. Yeah.
Okay, we got two Patreons from Australia. Thank you for supporting the show. What part?
Sydney, New South Wales, near Matt.
Do you know Matt?
No, I don't. No, Joe, no.
But that's so crazy, right? We got like,
man, they all know each other. Why not?
Come on.
Right?
It's a little country. You don't have to know each other.
I'm just a NASCAR fan, guys. Not a drag racer, but I do go to drags every so often.
Okay, cool. Well, so first of all, we did have Rudy the UPS guy who recruited Lowe, and they were friends, and that's how we got Lowe. So it's possible this is one of Matt's friends who decided to jump on board with WFO. Also, it is actually kind of curious that hasn't happened with Matt. But that's a different story for a different.
He doesn't have any friends.
Exactly. I didn't say that. You said that, Gio. So you're more of a NASCAR guy. Who's your guy?
Ambrose. I used to like Ambrose.
I like Ambrose
Ambrose
too.
from V8 supercars to NASCAR, and I fell in love with NASCAR. Thank God for NASCAR.
Yeah, it's been good. I remember, man, poor Marcus Ambrose. I still remember when that car, it was him, right?
When he turned it off to save gas. It wouldn't restart.
I had him in fantasy on that given day, and he shut the car off, and it wouldn't restart. What a nightmare for him.
That's Sonoma, wasn't it, or Watson Glen?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
it was that race. Watkins Glen, yep.
Brutal. What do you do, William? What's your thing down there?
I was like to say I'm a plumber, and I'm also a son of a plumber.
Like Dusty Rhodes?
Dusty Rhodes! Woo!
Dream.
The American dream.
Austin, Texas, Daddy.
Yeah, so I'm just a plumber for trade. Just working away, chipping away, trying to earn $1.
That's great. How did you find us?
Like I said, trying to find out more about NASCAR because of Ambrose, and WFO popped up, and I've been listening to you guys ever since.
That's been a while.
It's been a long while. It's been great.
That's great.
It's a great show, especially Gio. Gio's awesome. I love you, Gio.
Gio, they love Gio. They all love Gio. What? It's the crassness, right? It's the.
Will, I love you too. I love all my WFO universe.
It's his opinion. He just lets his opinion out. No matter what it's about, he just gives you opinion and just tells you straight. I love it. It's great.
Straight shooter.
He is.
Correct.
He is a straight shooter. Well, that's great, William. Thank you very much for checking in. You have anything else you want to tell? Look, Matt's out there. He texts, "Ain't you my friend, Gio? Come on, Matt. You got Matt a little."
No, we are friends, Matt, but you and I are the only ones, and I'm already on the show.
Yeah, that's true. He got you there,
when
Matt.
Matt gets his car going again, I'll go and check him out at Sydney Dragway.
Excellent. William, thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Jay. Good luck. Go WFO, guys. Thank you.
WFO.
WFO.
Great having you on.
How great is that? How great is that? Right? Like, William is down there.
He's never said that his favorite part of the show is, what his favorite part of the show is. He's here trying to make me feel bad.
They love the fact that you just let the opinions fly. Just let them fly. Let's fly them out there.
Yep. So why is it that you hate Gio? Because he just says things. But I guess some people like it.
No, I think it's great. I'm very happy about it. We got a near record crowd out there. Britt's still out there listening, and Derek and Dragster Jeff and you, Kev, and we got William and Matt. Where's Matt? Matt's still there. So we got a couple in Australia. That's why you need to subscribe to WFO Radio, guys. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, wherever you get your podcasts. Just go to the website, WFOradio.com, and you can figure it out. YouTube in particular, the show might even be on there. Who knows? But first, let me tell you about the people who make it possible, like Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School, the Dragster Adventure at frankhawley.com. Just $399, and you're driving dragsters with one of the legends and greatest driving coaches in NHRA history. Think about that. Samtech.edu, the School of Automotive Machinists and Technology. Start your education at full speed at samtech.edu, as in, do you want to become a machinist? Do you want to learn the trade of machining, like engine blocks and cylinder heads and running CNC machines, tuning EFI? Bobby Graham made a great living doing that his whole life. Bobby Graham loved it, right? He's now retired from Napa.
That's it.
But, right, Bobby? It's not like a bad trade by any means. Every day.
No, I can stay working. I could go to work now if I could get out there. I have job offers come all the time.
We need to put you some wheels on there, Bobby. We need to get you wheels as lower half and just go full on Motorator or whatever that motorcycle guy is. And then, of course, Marvin Rodak and Rodak'sCoffeeandGrills.com. And for all you folks out there like, man, I already got my education. I really don't want to become a machinist. Driving a dragster is not really my thing, but I want to support the show. Just call Marvin, 817-924-6821 and order a pound of coffee or two. You can get the WFO Radio blend. You can get the habanero endorphin booster hot sauce, just the one that Joe's always talking about, and you will enjoy it. And I think everybody that's on the screen right now has enjoyed a little Rodak's coffee at one time or another.
Every day.
More than a little.
More than a little.
Yes, the Ethiopian something or other is the one of that was brewed earlier yesterday or this week.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good stuff. And they got the WFO Radio blend, and it's all great. And I just, big thanks. Hey, what am I? Chopped liver? Yeah. Talking about friends with Matt. Exactly. Oh, look, Steve the trucker's on there. Let's get all the way out to Indiana. Steve is parked on the side of the road. What's up, Steve?
Hey, guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're a little muffled, but you're okay. I can see you're parked on the side of the road there.
Yeah, parked on the side. I haven't checked in a while. I always forget it says too late. And then, because I'm working, but just thought I'd check in and say hey to everybody. It's nice to see everybody's smiling faces, although you can't see mine very well.
There you go. Okay, your audio is not as good as it normally is, so I'm going to kick you back out. But
All right, dude.
there you go.
WFO, Steve.
Steve the trucker. Steve the trucker, my buddy. Steve
We
the trucker.
see that you got a big goatee going on.
Hopefully,
Yeah, right.
he takes off the week of the U.S. Nationals already and doesn't have to fight with that person who took his week off last week. And we'll all be at the U.S. Nationals. No, he's shaking his head. He's already lost the U.S. Nationals week.
We're gonna have to get that guy taken fired or something.
Yeah, you're gonna have to
You're gonna come to drastic actions here.
make him an offer he can't refuse. Do like the ratings game with Danny DeVito and send him on a trip on a cruise that's never going to come back to port. Something. But there you go. All right, guys. The Oscars. Did everybody watch it? Did anybody watch it? Did anybody see it live like I did? I was watching. I was here peacefully going to sleep and just checking out awards for movies that I haven't seen. I haven't seen any of them except for one. I saw Dune, which I liked Dune a lot. I like the original Dune. I'm the only one. There's one person in the world that liked the original Dune, and it's me and Carlos Bacchieri. But this one I liked. And so I'm watching, and then all of a sudden, violence breaks out. Like out of nowhere, a shocking development. And, I tweeted it out. I don't normally do that kind of stuff with celebrity deals because I'm not really into celebrity deals. But, man, it was the story of today.
What is the finger? Say the face.
I was disappointed. They had the golden opportunity to end this like blazing saddles. And I would have come in and watched, but they didn't.
They didn't. What do you think of that, Sue?
Well, I was peacefully going to sleep and then your tweet came out. Then I had to wake up and I had to go search.
No way. I did that to you. I'm sorry.
No. Trust me, it was funny. You're just kind of nodding off and it's like, oh, what's this? Oh, and then I came across you sent out the Australian uncut version.
The Australians get everything
somebody else
good.
Sent out
Matt
in
Clark,
Japanese.
That was intense.
Yeah.
It was an intense thing. Like if you were there, all of a sudden it went, you're at an award show and you're having a good time. And the F-bomb and there's a fight and
man.
Yeah.
Well,
my wife watched it. She told me about it when she came in.
Yeah. And okay, how does that conversation go, Bobby? Like, what did she tell you? Like, did you see the Oscars?
There was something exciting. I said, what?
Well,
somebody got slapped. Okay.
You know what's sad is that I actually like both of those people, and that's what made me feel bad about it, right? Like, and I immediately compared it to drag racing and all the people who want racers to have confrontations. And this is a perfect example of how, like, you could want to see something interesting or controversial, but when it happens, it's terrible. And because I like Will Smith, Independence Day, man. Will Smith was good. He's got some good movies, not all of them, but some of them. And Chris Rock is one of the funniest comedians of our generation. Chris Rock is hysterical, and to see
Pookie.
Right, Pookie. What was that? New Jack City?
New Jack City.
New Jack City. Right?
Oh, come on, man.
Wasn't Samuel L. in that one too? But and to see Will Smith get up there and he lost it, and in front of the world, like, do that backstage, man. It was such a terrible decision by him. Like, how can someone lose their mind like that in front of all those people in such a difficult situation? Like, how do you lose your mind like that? I don't understand it. Like,
that's what makes it a little unacceptable. Like, Will Smith, he's not a newbie. This guy's been around for what? He's 15 years old. So he's been almost 40 years old. He was rapping as the Fresh Prince. He couldn't have been that old back in the late 80s.
No,
so he's got experience in this limelight, and that's, to me, the reason why it's even less acceptable. Like, like if he was a young 20, 22, early guy in his early 20s that had just come on the scene, and maybe he hasn't, and had this reaction. But Will Smith is a grown-up man with adult children.
Well, he's having all kinds of problems. They're having marital issues.
Look, it doesn't matter, man. Like, I gotta tell you, I like Will Smith. And I've always liked Chris Rock, but he should have, that's just, I think he could have given him the look. By the way, he kind of laughed at first.
He did kind of laugh at first. And then the wife laughed at like, you laughing? And then he realized he lost it. You got to handle business like that backstage, out of the public eye. Backstage, you just take it. You just take it. Sometimes you got to just take it. You know who just took it? You know who realized? Chris Rock. Chris Rock just took it. I am the host of this show right now. It is the Oscars. The entire world is watching. This man is about to hit me. What can I do? Fight him? Am I going to get a fight? There's going to be a brawl. I'm going to block it. He's going to hit me. We're going to get in a tussle. Next thing you know, guys are coming in with chairs. It turns into the Jerry Springer show. That can't happen.
That was the Source Awards. He forgot he was at the Academy Awards.
Exactly.
But did he come up with that, or was he just reading the monitors?
Well, we don't know.
These jokes are, there are writers, and, now he did choose to go ahead and say it. And look, I get it. Maybe you shouldn't make fun of someone's health issue. I assume that he knew, because I think we kind of all known so far that she's had a health issue and she came out and that's why she shaved her head and all that. Not all of us, but I got to tell you, the first thing, once Joe sent it and I saw that stuff, at first it kind of looks fake. But
that's what Jeff says. Dragster Jeff says it was staged. Another Jeff Bonifield says he agrees that it was staged. And Derek says, had the Will Smith thing not happened, I wouldn't have known the Oscars were on. Yeah, I understand that too.
Well, he had to come right back up on stage and win.
Actor
of the year or something.
No, best actor.
Best actor.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's talk about the stage deal.
Well, how about that? Well, go ahead.
I don't believe it was staged at all. But if anything was staged, if I'm the guy in charge, I'm giving him the Best Actor award to get him back up there. Switch the envelopes. Switch the envelopes. Smith wins.
All right. Well, there's been a conspiracy about that for many years, and it felt that they can't just get up there and announce whoever you want, and that's how they caught it. Was it last year, a couple years ago, when the guy said La La Land won? And they quickly said, no, you got it wrong. That wasn't the film that won, because there's somebody there from the place that actually counts the tally and all that, and to verify it, and yada, yada, yada. But what I will say is Will Smith is veteran enough and a mature adult. And I know he's going through some stuff, and we all go through stuff at times. But if he wasn't going to wait and bust his ass backstage, he needed to have been smart enough and know, like, hey, I'm about to get an award. And he could have gone up there and made Chris Rock feel like an ass by just being, hey, I just want to start this and say that while I get it, Chris, we're friends and all that, but it's not funny to make fun of my sick wife. you know, or something like that. Or I just want it to be known that it's not okay to make fun of people with illnesses anymore, or something like that. You know what I mean? He had the chance to come out there and be the bigger person, and instead he had to get out there and cry and, you know, get all emotional and beg for forgiveness for being an ass.
Yeah.
He's an
Right.
actor.
Yeah. Well, Drexel Jeff says
That
best
too.
actor acting.
That
Yeah,
too.
that wasn't to me though. Like
G.I. Joe too.
I
Yeah.
know
Oh.
I know what acting is, and that was not.
I would say that
Well, I didn't know what G.I. Joe 1 was.
G.I. Jane, G.I.
G.I.
Jane.
Jane, by the way, it was a
Oh.
bomb. All right, it was
Another
a
It was,
movie.
it was a bit
Really
I haven't
old
seen it either.
reference. Who under 40 even knows about G.I. Jane? That was like what, 1990, 1995 maybe, you know, like I feel like again,
Nobody
Yeah,
saw it the first time. Nobody
nobody saw the first one.
well, it wasn't
Nobody
that great
ever
the first time, so yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, it was just that. Like, you know, I like Will Smith. I've always, I don't dislike him. How about that? But I just thought, like, man, you know, as you know, also look, maybe in my 20s I wouldn't be saying this. Maybe the fact that I had all, you know, X amount of time to think about it, or the fact that I'm a father now. But if my kid acted like that, I'd be pissed. And that's just kind of like, well, I wouldn't act that way so that my kid wouldn't see me do that.
Well,
and
hopefully.
And that's it. No, not hopefully. I've found myself in many a situation where I want to do something and I'm like, oh, the fucking kid's in the car. You know? It's
There
like,
it
I
is.
can't do that anymore because, you know, you don't want them to see you being a jerk that you didn't realize you were always such a jerk. Well, I could
on the bright side, if there was a stagnation in the creation of memes, that has now been broken. Meme creation
I hadn't thought
is
about
back
that
to
one.
100%.
Yeah. I've
the
been
meme-
bombarded by all of my different group texts with different memes and everything. It's just
constant memes. This one from Steve the Trucker, Everybody Hates Chris, which was the name of the Chris Rock TV show, which was good. I saw, what was it? What was the one when they checked out the crime scene? What did they find on Chris Rock's face? Fresh Prince. There was the one I told you earlier, Gio. There was another one that
I know one that. Why did he slap him with an open hand? Because paper beats rock.
Paper beats rock. That one was good. That was the first one of it, because paper beats rock. Back in the day, there were these like communal events that happened in the world, like the last episode of MASH or something, and everybody talked about it, right? Everybody saw it and everybody was part of it. These communal things that happen in our culture, and those things are mostly gone now because we've got 50,000 channels and we've got all kinds of options, and it's very rare does any one thing get so big that
it generally has to be a live event, whether it's the Oscars or a sporting event.
Janet
or
Jackson booby thing.
Wardrobe malfunction.
But by the way, I don't know if when you tweeted that it had just happened or it was right afterwards, but you know, of course, you send that the first somebody had just, you know, I go right on Twitter because that's where I get my news from. Yeah. And I was like, oh wow, this is real.
Yeah, well,
I thought it was fake too. I wasn't believing Joe at first either, Gio. I have to tell you.
I don't know why.
Then it was all over.
I don't know why.
I was like, but why would he slap him? You know, and that's why I'm like, what? I'm like, I saw the video. I didn't think the joke was offensive. I mean, maybe it wasn't funny, but it's, you know, to get that mad over it. I've been told a lot worse stuff than that. Let me tell you, and I ain't never kicked nobody's ass for it.
Well, I think we're all very confused till right now. Like, I don't think anybody understands what the deal was. Like, so my original tweet, Will Smith hits Chris Rock at the Oscars, and it's just a clip of me shooting the screen of the TV. Only got 2 retweets, guys. It only got 5 likes. It only got 4 comments. But then I retweeted the one from Australia, uncensored Will Smith footage. That thing has been retweeted 201,000 times. That's the difference between censorship and non-censorship. Like, people want to hear the F word.
Well, that one was more exciting than the first.
Yeah.
And I guess they cut off the feed here. It kind of got muted on the live feed. You know,
there was the whole F-bomb throwing out there.
Multiple F-bombs.
Right.
And Chris Rock,
it wasn't enough that he hit him. Then he went back and he turned into like a teenager.
Oh, he's a badger.
You're lucky they're holding me back. Kind of stuff. You get her name out of your mouth.
I like how
Right.
Chris Rock just kind of stood there. It's like, okay.
Okay.
So,
I will
moving
do
on.
And
I mean,
here's
look, you
best
can tell. Look,
documentary.
he was composed, but he was a little like staggered. Like he was like, "Dude, it's just a GI Jane joke,"
Right.
and then, and that's when he stumbled through trying to introduce the documentary after that, and did. But nonetheless, look, he did the right thing.
I would have been stumbling through that too, just saying.
Well, first of all, he's amazing. Like the guy came up and totally sucker punched him, and Chris Rock took it.
Slap. It was a slap. It wasn't a punch.
Slap. It wasn't a punch.
Open-handed
Slap because it was
Well,
open-handed. But I mean, look,
paper
assault is
covers
assault.
rock.
That's fine.
It
That's
was
right.
well, it is an assault. That's definitely, and a lot of people have said, they should press charges, and Chris Rock is not pressing charges. And I'm like, Chris Rock can't press charges in that situation. It's just a bad moment, and he had to take it. But now he's been memeized. Like when the NBA, you get dunked on, you get posterized. He's been memeized, and now Chris Rock, whether like it or not, he's that meme. There's going to be thousands of them every time somebody smacks something, or something smacks down something, or the next time you, Kev, and Matt are playing their dirt cricket game, the one who loses will be the Chris Rock meme.
Was that somebody said any publicity is good publicity, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to test that. We're going to test it. So anyway, there's your Oscars report. And the movie that won, I hadn't seen. It's the movie Apple movie.
Coda.
Right. And it's a movie about hearing impaired folks.
It's on Apple Plus. I haven't seen it, but from what I understand, it's fantastic. I was told by a couple of people that watch movies and
film industry stuff.
I trust their opinion, and they said that we should watch.
Okay. Well,
All right.
I'll watch. I like movies, man. I'm a movie guy. Hey, look, Matty is on lunch break. Matt Clark, Torque Calibration Services in Australia.
Hey,
Matt, we got another
Yo,
New
Matt.
South Wales guy on the line tonight. We got two. You guys look neighbors. You guys should try to find each other. You guys
And you're not friends, Matt.
have-
How do you not know each other?
you have 45 minutes to find each other starting now. Go.
There's only 5.5 million people here in Sydney. I should be fine.
If it was easy, it wouldn't be
problem.
fun.
That's right. 100%.
Yes. So what's up, Matt? What do you got?
Oh, not much, mate. The only thing missing from the Oscars, I was waiting for Tommy Lee Jones to walk on the stage, put the sunglasses on, hold up the pen.
I like that.
Nothing to see here.
That would have been great.
That would have been great.
That would have been gold.
It would have been. Everybody got in on it. Amy Schumer got in. It's like, what's with the vibe? It certainly feels different out here. I don't know what happened. Like everybody kind of Diddy. Of course, the next guy is Diddy. He's like, we're gonna settle this like family, which I think means they're gonna have a fist fight. I don't know what that means actually. But apparently they did make up at an after party, and there's videos all over. Only in Dade. Gio, did you see
They
that?
apologized to each other online and in the social media world also.
Ah, it's a happy ending. Very
happy
sweet.
ending.
There it
Everything's-
is.
Yeah.
Hugs and kisses.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I just thought of making a joke about Jada. and
I thought
Chris
James
Rock.
Champion was going to come out and slap Sam Elliott, but I guess he wasn't there.
All right, Sports Collision. Giovanni, what do you got?
Sports Collision. Did anything happen in sports while I was out hanging out at the beach? Yes, lots happened. It was March Madness is coming to a conclusion.
March
It was
Madness
the
is now
Sweet
over.
Well, not exactly. Well, I guess technically it is because the rest of the madness will ensue in April on Saturday and next Monday. So while my original statement was factually correct, March Madness is now over. But on Thursday and Friday, we had the Sweet 16 games, and it was another couple of great games, performance by underdogs and some of the top teams getting beat, and a couple of them coming through. But then on the Elite Eight was Saturday and Sunday, and those games, like I had told you guys a week before, the Blue Bloods came back out, and Cinderella lost her slipper and got slapped like Chris Rock on their way back to Miami and to St. Peter's.
Yeah.
It was unfortunately the Miami Hurricanes who won their game on Friday and on Thursday and advanced to the Sweet 16 game. Did not play very well on Sunday against Kansas. They actually played very well for the first half and were actually leading at halftime.
Yep.
And they picked the worst time of the year to have their worst half of all season. They had not played that poorly the whole year in any single game. And unfortunately, Kansas, was a bigger, better, faster team. And their athletes after halftime just came out and stuck it to the Canes. And while it was a little disappointing, I got to say, overall, it was a great season. The Canes got further than they have ever gone in the history of the program. And thank you, Coach Larinaga, for another great Hurricanes basketball season. And the excitement of the last 2 weeks was great as a Hurricane fan. Can't wait for football season. But here we are. We're set. The Final Four is set. We've got, like I mentioned earlier, Blue Bloods, Duke versus Carolina. Everyone over there in Stubo's backyard is going crazy. They pick sides over there. You either support Duke or you support Carolina. And so we'll see. And on the other side is, I was about to say Kentucky, but I know it's not Kentucky.
Villanova.
It's Villanova.
And Kansas.
And Kansas. And so those guys all meet on Saturday, and the winners will play each other. But Villanova happens to be the favorite team of someone who is on the show here, as they are a Philadelphia sports fan.
Absolutely. We're pulling for Nova.
Like that around here, right?
Could be. Yeah. We are pulling for Nova. It's been a couple of years, but it should be exciting. So we'll see if they battle it out and win against Kansas, see if they can go up against them and beat them for speed and put them away. And then we'll see who it comes out to be for the battle of the North Carolina teams. All I know is it's going to be ugly in the Carolinas for the next 7 days until that game is played.
Coach K is possibly his last game. How fitting to play against Duke for a chance to a final victory and final championship in his sunsetting season as he rolls away into retirement. Whoa.
Exactly.
But that's what was going on in the college basketball world. In the NBA, the season's coming down to an end. The battle in the East is just neck and neck. The top 4 teams are covered by a half a game. The Celtics and the Heat are now tied atop first. This is based on whatever games need to be played today. They're playing. But as of this morning, there was a tie atop the East with the Heat and the Celtics at 47-28, and the Bucks and the Sixers are just half a game back at 46-28. Everybody's tied in the loss column, and so those 4 teams are just playoff seeding. Couple of games left over the next 2 weeks, and we'll finally find out. And on the other side, Phoenix has just, they've been the best team all year. They're 61-14, and then the battle there is just to see who is really the rest of the teams. But in the East, great battle up top. On the West, Phoenix has pretty much wrapped up everything. And that's kind of NBA, MLB. They got their stuff together, and spring season has started, and we're hoping for April 7th, I believe, is the opening day now, new opening day.
Very nice.
That's all I got for now.
Excellent. No big trades in the NFL. Miami Dolphins picking up Tyreek Hill. You don't care about that? That doesn't matter?
Did that happen afterwards? I wasn't sure.
That doesn't make sports collision?
I'm not a big Dolphin fan, so I wasn't sure.
You're an NFL fan? He's like one of the top wide receivers in the entire league, and he comes to the local team here, and you're just going to kind of gloss over it. What's that?
If there was something you wanted to put a bullet point on, you should mention.
I did. I am. This is it. This is happening right now. I'm mentioning this.
Your Miami Dolphins have decided that they got to do what they got to do to maybe, just like the NFL, and to get some good news after all the stink news that comes along. And so they have made a move and traded a bunch of draft picks, 5 to be exact, for Tyreek Hill, the free agent to be next season from Kansas City. And so they promptly gave him a brand new record-setting contract, most guaranteed money ever, until it didn't last very long, because I think it was the very next day that Cleveland, got what's his name, the masseuse guy, and gave him record contract too. So But yeah, man, look, Tyreek Hill. I guess it was the day after, but I don't understand. Oh, Tyreek Hill got record contract for wide receiver. The other guy got record contract overall. And that's what kind of threw me off. But look, another great addition. The Dolphins are all in on trying to at least, we've seen this before. Hopefully it works out. They are trying to get weapons for Tua. They're all in on Tua. And so either Tua performs or, pretty sure he's going to be out because they're spending money. They're doing everything they can to win. Their owner is an older gentleman, and he's been now the owner, I just 2008 or 9, at least 10, 15 years going on, and they've never won anything. And so nothing, maybe not, not nothing. One playoff game, I think, that they went to, and they didn't win.
Well, so, we're cynical down here. We can never be happy, but this move has already been made. We're like 5 moves removed from where we would have, obviously the move was to get Justin Herbert instead of Tua in the draft that year. Like, like if you could go back to a save point and restart from that save point, that's where everybody would go, right? You can't do that though.
No.
And so now here we are, and this is what it is. You can't say the Dolphins won't have weapons. They will have some weapons. The question is, can the quarterback get the weapons, the ball? That's the question. And you've got a new offensive-minded head coach who is supposedly, the word genius has been thrown out there.
Offensive guru. Why don't we call him the offensive guru?
I think the
word genius.
He's quirky. He's surveyed the talent. These are the moves that they're making. And so you got to sit back and you got to watch. And what's going to happen? Are the Dolphins going to be able to do something? They're going to be able to score some points. The defense wasn't bad. The defense was actually good. Can they maintain some of that defensive prowess? Can they gain a little offense? Can they get a little bit of running game going on? We don't know, but we're going to find out. It's, Tyreek Hill becomes the biggest star on the Dolphins from one day to the next. He's the guy. He's a bona fide superstar, and we'll see. And he'll come in here, and, if Tua can't get him the ball, you'll know it right away. You'll see him like waiting on the ball, like stopping and catching the ball. It will be very obvious. And at that point, everyone will know. Everyone will know. Steve the Trucker appears to be waving down there. What do you got, Steve the Trucker?
Who did Matt Ryan play for? He's coming to the Colts.
He played
Atlanta.
For Atlanta. Matty Ice.
Atlanta. Was he good?
Yeah.
Good?
Yeah. One of the
It's a good move for your team.
Yeah, good move.
Okay, good. Well, that's good.
It's definitely an upgrade at the quarterback position.
All right. Well, I know they made a big deal about it here, so.
There you go.
He's a former MVP. He led a team to the Super Bowl, and another guy that the Dolphins may have drafted when they had the number 1 pick back in 7. But
another save point that we should have definitely done something differently.
They passed on Matt when he was available.
Yeah.
They passed on Aaron Rodgers too that year. They took Ronnie Brown, right? I know we gloss over that because they took Ronnie Brown and yada yada, but they passed on Aaron Rodgers that year. That was the year Alex Smith went number 1 overall. And
who was doing the picking then though? Who was our guy when we took Ronnie Brown? Wasn't Jimmy?
No, that was way after.
After Jimmy?
It was either the Wanstash or it could have been already the what's his name, the Nick Saban era. I will let you know right now.
Let us know.
Well, if y'all wait long enough, he'll come back around in 2032. He'll probably be available.
Yeah.
2005. So let's see who the Dolphins head coach was.
Can't Cameron.
Is that what it is?
Sperano. Cameron.
That's what it's probably going to be. Tony Sperano.
May he rest in peace. But that was in
2005, 9-7, Coach Nick Saban.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah. How about that? That was Nick's first season.
So we had just gotten Dante Culpepper. We didn't need a quarterback. What do you need?
They picked Culpepper over. No, look, that year the quarterback was Gus Frerotte.
Well, then how was it Nick Saban? So anyway, I recently watched.
We had to see when the draft happened because I guess this is a 05 season, so it would have been the 05 draft the year. Yeah, I'll let you know now.
So I was just watching an episode of Rick and Morty where Morty wanted to create a save point where he could just save and then go back to that point, like was what we're talking about, right? Like when you're editing or you do anything, you got to save. You got to save. Like, wouldn't it be great if you could just save and then go forward? And if it's not working out, go back to the save point, right? Well, I think about that in terms of the Dolphin drafts all the way back. And they are all terrible. Like every one of them. You should have just done whatever you did the opposite. And you'd have been a better bet. Going all the way back to Matty Ice, they should have taken Matt Ryan instead of the big offensive lineman, whatever his name was. Jake Long.
Yeah. Jake
Nightmare.
That's
well, here we are. New head coach, new era. You got a guy that might be the quarterback. You've got two number one wide receivers. You got a great receiving core. And we'll see what happens. Go Dolphins. Simple as that. Go Dolphins. All right, Matt's back. Matt, you're back. So what do you got down there? You're echoing for the very first time.
How's that?
Much better. You fixed it. Congratulations.
Yeah.
You're an audio expert.
Yeah. Whatever you did, you jumped right on it.
How I roll.
Yeah.
What's going on down here?
Yeah. What's going on?
Right.
You've taken a role on the show as our
Sydney's
reporter.
just raining and raining and raining. In my whole life, I've never seen at this time of year so much rain. We've got floods happening everywhere, especially in rural parts of the state, and it's pretty crazy.
Crazy.
What's happened down here? On the weekend, we had another round of the V8 supercars down in Tasmania, which is an island off the south coast of Australia.
Oh, they got a bunch of those little devils down there. Those little guys.
Yeah, Tassie Devils. That's them.
Yeah,
that's it.
Constantly chasing around bugs.
Ironically, to the last point before, that's where Marcus Ambrose was born and grew up and lives now, I believe.
There you go. Tasmanian Devil.
The Tasmanian Devil. And his father was the co-founder of Van Diemen Formula Ford chassis. There's a bit of useless trivia for you.
I love it.
Yeah.
What is that? What is an actual Tasmanian devil? Is it a mammal? Is there an actual
Tasmanian
creature?
devil?
Is that like an actual creature called the Tasmanian
Yeah,
devil?
yeah, absolutely. They're feisty little SOBs, that's for sure.
Oh, there it is.
Dude, I'm telling you, he
real.
looks just like the cartoon figure. I wasn't making that up.
No, he looks more like a badger.
The other thing, which is apparently a stink that's a little bit like Bigfoot, is a Tasmanian tiger.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which looks like a cross between a tiger and a. I was going to say a dingo. If you guys know what a dingo looks like.
I just saw him. Yeah, Dingo and the baby.
Dingo ate my baby. That's the only thing anybody knows about a dingo is that.
Correct.
The dingo ate my baby.
There is some footage of a Tasmanian tiger, some black and white footage from like early last century, but they apparently become extinct. But then, like everything, people say they've seen them out in the wild of Tasmania in the wilderness.
I get it. That's why you mentioned the Bigfoot.
That is a Tasmanian devil, guys. That's what it is. I don't want to mess with him.
No, he's a badass little creature.
Comes running at me, I'm going the other way.
Mm-hmm.
I like Bug Bunny's friend better, the Tasmanian devil. He's much better looking.
It's definitely funnier. Like if we're talking about comedy, the Warner Brothers Tasmanian Devil is definitely more funny.
100%.
Well, cool. All right, guys. Final thought.
So not much else.
Aren't you doing some military stuff? Aren't you hanging out with the great United States Marine Corps?
Correct. Today I was at the naval military base in Sydney and did some work there early this morning. And I'm not allowed over that side of the base. I don't have that access, but there is a U.S. Navy ship there with obviously Navy personnel and Marines.
Awesome.
And they're here for some time. Apparently, that's a bit of R&R. So
Just
I
like
figured out
the
a couple of them while I was waiting to get into the through security and whatever. They were coming out to grab an Uber and go and explore Sydney town.
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool what I get to see and do sometimes. It keeps it exciting, that's for sure.
Well, you deserve it. You're doing good stuff. All right, we're gonna start wrapping up. Matt, you're last in. You'll be first out. Any final thoughts? We're getting ready for Vegas 4 wide. Remember, the WFO patrons have got 2 meetups this year. One in Indy, one at Vegas 2. This is Vegas 1. There's still a long way to go. I know that you're not going to be able to make it because of the incident with the car, but that doesn't mean I can't apply pressure.
Yeah, why not?
But we got the Vegas 4 wide. We haven't talked about that really at all. I'm excited
How
to
are
go.
the fields looking, Joe?
I don't know. I haven't even
Yeah.
checked because I feel like I got to go anyway. So even if they're short, I'm okay. I'm going.
I saw
check.
18
I'll check
in
tonight.
Pro Stock. I saw that.
Well, because Pro Stock is the strongest category. Okay,
Yeah.
let's see. We got Steve Torrance, Brittany Force, Justin Ashley, Antron Brown, Sean Langdon, Doug Coletta, Milliken, not Clay Milliken, just Milliken. Josh Hart, Tony Schumacher, Austin Prock, Rob Passy, Cameron Ferre in the Terry Haddock car,
All
Jim
right.
Maroney, Leah, and Mike Salinas. And so what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15. You know, like just put the number up.
Pretty good.
I'll take 4 wide. So there's going to be one, there's no buy runs. There'll just be 1 quad with 3. Funny car, on the other hand, looks like there's 17 or 18.
18.
Caps, Tasca, Cruz, Force, Alexis, Robert, Wilkerson, Jim Campbell, Matt Hagan, Terry Haddock, Blake Alexander, J.R. Todd, Chad Green, Stephen Densham, Jeff Deal, Jason Rupert, Bobby Bodie, and Tony Gerardo is back. So there you go. The race within a race that is qualifying. And I hear there have been some, moves and things happening. You know whose name I don't see on that list? Where's Paul Lee?
He's taken off, at least for this race.
Did you see that? I didn't see that.
Yeah, I read that.
But they made some crew
He's
chiefs.
making changes.
They made some changes. Well, Dustin Heim is going to be the guy, but they are going to have to. Wow, they had a tough start. Jimmo is out. Jimmo is on the move. A lot of changes, but that's how exciting it is, right? Like we ran 2 races. People are getting fired. People are moving around. People are getting rehired. Be very interesting to see. I'm hearing that there's some movement that may have happened at Clay's car. So we'll see. Pro Stock. Now we're talking. 18. Greg, Erica, Dallas, Kyle Koretsky, Aaron Stanfield, who Aaron and his dad both won the Division 4 points race in Noble. They doubled up again. Top dragster and super stock. How great is that? Troy Kaufman, Mason McGahey, Chris McGahey, Matt Hartford, Camry, Roger Brogdon, Derek Kramer, Bo, Steve Graham, John Serbone back in the Delco car. Fernando Quadra, Christian, and Fernando Jr. And there you go. So we're going to have mostly full fields out there at the Denso 4 wide. Alcohol dragster. Oh my gosh, it's stacked. How many ladies are an alcohol dragster though? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's still a lot. Alcohol funny car. Not what I meant to click on. Alcohol funny car. Not quite 16, but more than 8. What were you going to say?
I was just wondering when the Joe and Alan Racing, how the progress is going there. Joe.
Poorly.
Could be an opportunity.
I'm losing my track, and Alan's losing his track. We're both losing our tracks. Very
Wasn't there
upsetting.
some talk of putting a funny car together?
As much as I admire Alan's ability to talk about tuning a car, I don't know if I want to be the guy testing the reality. And all right, light it up.
What are your thoughts on this A-Fuel funny car, Joe?
That's a good question. The
Myers,
answer is
testing it at Texas.
I'm against it, but I'm for it. Okay, like I think that there should be enough regular alcohol funny cars because they're awesome. Okay, to me, like machine to machine, like whatever the A fuel funny car turns out to be, direct, like an A fuel dragster. Like if assume that's the same run and it's just in a funny car versus a standard alcohol funny car. I think one is going to be much more exciting to watch than the other, right? But for whatever reason, people don't want to build those. And if we can have full fields of a combination of both, I guess I'd have to be for it, right? Because it's not my choice. I'm not buying one or the other, and I'm not restricting people from having them. I just want to see full fields where people are interested in competing and out there building what they want to build. So if Randy Meyer builds one and it works and other people dive in and start to build them, then NHRA should allow them. That's my opinion.
Very good.
Yeah. But they didn't get that car to go down the racetrack once. Not that that's a big thing.
Yeah.
At the Funny Car Chaos, which, they got however many runs that they got, it's a work in progress. But the fact that Randy, that's what has to happen. Someone has to have the vision to build it before NHRA okays it. Like that's how it used to be back in the day. Look at all these other categories like Pro Mod and Top Sportsman and just everything. People like, this is something cool that we like. And they're like, oh, you like that? Yeah, okay, we'll do it. So someone's got to be the first one to build one. And
a big hitter do it that's proven as well,
Yeah.
And it's going to do it properly.
He'll get it down. They want a challenge. Yeah. He'll get it down the racetrack. And Randy's got this business going too. So I'm sure he's thinking, all right, wow, man, we can maybe have 2 of these funny cars. We got 2 dragsters. We'll be running 2 in each and never have to go home ever again. Just be out on the road. Drag racing for life. Anyway. All right, Matt, final thought, and then you're gone.
I'm going. Stay safe, everybody.
There you go.
Later, Matt.
I've got nothing, Joe. Sorry.
That's all right.
I'm being honest.
No, it's okay. But hey, you and Will, you should get lunch sometime. Like I love that. You guys are all the way around the world, man. You're like right there. If we're looking at a map, you're right on the same little dot.
Correct.
That's amazing.
I'll start looking now.
There he goes. All right, Matt. Later.
All right. Take care, guys.
WFO.
Later, Matt. WFO.
See you, Matt.
I'm sorry. I'm so amazed that we have like a great listenership in Australia. I'm sorry, but I love it. I love our worldwide audience. We had UKEV on there. We got this is WFO Radio worldwide. This is a worldwide motorsports community, much larger than any one person in the community. All right, Bobby Graham, what do you got?
Well, we kind of talked about it with the Oscars, but I had my career advice here. And this is for future careers, for young folks, and really old folks. So it's never too late to learn a trade, like Samtech. Samtech is ideal. You would always work, never have a problem. Usually you're not going to get slapped in the face over it. So it's a pretty good job. But if you're going to be a comedian, learn to do so without belittling other folks. Because, I don't know, just find something funny. Don't hide behind the cover of I'm a comedian so I can say what I want to hurt people. And that's my thought on that. One more thing is as you get older, take care of your health because you never know what kind of hazards are out there. I have my 2 faithful dogs that take care of me. They're half pit, half whatever. And but they watch after me pretty close. But they will lick a person to death. They're not going to bite a soul, but they will chase buzzards all day. And I noticed the other day while I'm on the tractor, the buzzards will follow me wherever I go through the pasture. So my dogs handle. So never get too old where you can't outrun a buzzard.
That's I was wondering if that's where that was going. The buzzards are following you, Bobby?
The buzzards are following me on a tractor.
Oh my gosh, they know. They're like, this guy's close.
They know something.
This guy's close. You're not close, Bobby. Not by a long shot.
He's on one leg. We almost got him.
Oh my gosh. I got to tell you, Bobby, those words of wisdom tonight were very good. I agree with you. Like once upon a time, you know, like there's difference between making fun and mocking, right? Like there's a lot of little lines in there, and it's really just super easy to make comedy by, you know, offending someone or belittling someone. You know, the world changes. People used to say stuff all the time, and now they don't. You know, you're more choosy with your words about what you say about people. But anyway, in the end, right? Isn't there a golden rule or something? Don't do to people, you know, whatever that is, right? Like,
comedians used to be funny.
Isn't that the same for humor though? Like, I mean, I don't want you.
I have a sense of humor, but it's most of my sense of humor is not at the expense of somebody else.
Right.
You know, if somebody wants to make fun of their situation, I'll listen. You know, I'll probably listen with a lot of empathy with him, but don't try to belittle someone else.
Right.
Okay?
Life is
you never know what their situation actually is.
That's so true. That is so true. Bobby, that was a good one, man. I appreciate it. And I love comedy. I love like genuine comedy. Like I was just watching Rodney Dangerfield earlier today, and Rodney, all his comedy Rodney is one of my favorite guys, right? Like
Rodney was one of mine.
I'll be on YouTube, and I'm posting for WFO and something on the right, and they know that I love because they know what I like. And here come all the Rodney bits. And his family, I guess, still own it. And they have a YouTube channel, Rodney Dangerfield. Like everything Rodney Dangerfield has ever done is coming up on my deal. And so I'm watching Rodney on the Tonight Show and Rodney at the Oscars. Oh, yeah, because of what happened, I had typed the word Oscars at some point recently, right? And so now Rodney Dangerfield at the Oscars, he goes out and he's presenting an award, and he just does, it's all self-deprecation humor, right? Like, yeah, you know, no, my wife, that kind of stuff.
I think Rickles destroyed comedy when he come along. That's when I lost faith in a lot of comedians. When Rickles started his stuff, always putting somebody down. To me, it got a little overboard. The first time or two, it was funny just for the shock value, but then it got a little old.
Wow, Rickles.
Most people won't remember Rickles, but it started way back in.
Well, listen, no, it's very funny. That's the history of comedy right there. Is that Don Rickles is big, but he attacked some people. All right, Bobby, good job. Appreciate
it. Later, guys. WFO, y'all.
WFO, Bobby.
They're Bobby Graham. We're talking Don Rickles, and we're talking Rodney Dangerfield on this very contemporary show that is WFO. You know, listen, Rodney Dangerfield would have blocked the shot last night.
That's true. Rodney Dangerfield would have came back and gave him what's for. Yes. That's for sure.
That's right. Hey, kid, have a pen. Oh, I'm out of pens. All right, Sue, final thoughts. What do you got?
Well, I have to talk up AMA Supercross. Again, another exciting weekend of racing. They were in Seattle this past weekend. Eli Tomac won 450. He is catching up to Ricky Carmichael's record. That was 5 in a row for him. But on the number of wins, man, they have the week off, but oh my goodness, the racing with AMA Supercross has been just fantastic. So the 250, it was Hunter Lawrence that won that race. But man, it's been an exciting season. Can't say enough about what's happening there. So check it out if you get a chance. It's definitely worth a watch.
Gio, do you remember when we were doing PRI from Orlando?
Yes, the Geico guys.
That was Eli Tomac. I know. It's crazy. We were hanging with these guys like when they were nothing. And you saying
we hung out with them for like 3 straight years. They were friends of the show. We could go by. You know, if we hadn't lost that thing, I would say we might be able to go back and find some of those shows. But I'll see if I definitely remember all the, Eli.
Early interviews with Eli Tomac. And what's funny is that, all right, I admit it, like as Sue's watching it and I'm not watching it Saturday night, like I don't know why, but I don't find the Supercross. I'm not against it by any means. I actually like it, but whatever.
It's on it used to be on the NBC Sports channel, which is now USA, I think is where it's at, right? Is it on USA?
Yes, that's where it's at, USA.
I've been disconnected from it. I got friends that are in fantasy leagues, like Supercross fantasy leagues, all kinds of stuff. And I don't know why. I just don't find it. But what's funny is like these guys, we got to know all of these guys, and now they're the greats of the sport, which is funny. Just an interesting coincidence.
It's fun to watch.
Very good.
So-
Well, thank you for wearing your VP shirt.
Absolutely. You know what I do to support.
Yes. And are you racing this weekend?
Weather permitting, we're going points racing at Union County Dragway. So
Are you-
we'll see if the weather cooperates.
Are you going to
So,
get behind the wheel of the Camaro?
good opportunity coming up soon. Yes.
Well, you're being
Not this
coy-
weekend,
you're
but
being coy about it. It's like a mystery. No, next time we're all in on you. That's it. Practice runs are over. We
That's
wanna
right.
see Sue go out there and turn on some wind lights.
Next time it's Sue Goes Drag Racing. And then, of course, I want to see Joe Goes Drag Racing.
Yeah, Joe, go drag racing.
Come on. Let's go Super Street Drag Racing, Joe. Come on.
I'm working on it. No, we're working. We got a whole plan. Now that we don't have a track anymore to distract us, we've got a plan.
That's just sad.
That
That's
is
just so sad.
So
But
well. All right, Sue, very good. Say hi to Dave.
I will do that. Have a great week. Safe travels. And Gio, say hi to the fam. See y'all and have a great week, everybody.
There you
WFO.
go. WFO, there she goes, Sue Morris.
WFO,
Congratulations to Dave Morris, our fantasy league winner. Just like that. This is how they all wind down. Dragster Jeff says, be good to yourself, everybody. Dragster Jeff is out. Thank you, Dragster Jeff. He was running all over the West Coast bracket racing this past weekend. All right, Giovanni, final thought.
Woo, hey, try to be nice to somebody. You never know what they're going through, and you might avoid getting slapped in the face.
Yeah, exactly. It's as simple as that. All right, there he goes. Giovanni in Miami. He's not going to get better than that.
WFO, everyone.
Final thought. All right, there he goes. And that brings us to the end of WFO Radio. That might end up on YouTube, but maybe not. I just, to put it out there on the YouTube. What is this show about anyway? But we do have listeners from all around the world, and you can become one of them. The Patreons, the VIP listener club that is the Patreons, participate and co-host in the Ignition Show. Great stuff. WFOradio.com. You can find out more. Patreon.com/WFO Radio. And big thanks, like Matt. He's down there calibrating torque wrenches down in Australia. You need that done, hit him up. Marvin Rodak, coffee, hot sauce, spice rub, barbecue, grills, Fort Worth, Texas. But they ship everywhere. Rodak's. Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School, the Dragster Adventure, and samtech.edu. Appreciate these guys. Been on with us a long time. We got our brand new sponsor, VP Racing Fuels. Super cool. Sue rocking the gear right out of the box. And I'm real happy that they are on board. We're going to do good things for them. Total Seal Piston Rings, the leader in ring seal technology. TotalSeal.com. Remember the podcast, Hidden Horsepower. Learn a lot about ring seal. And FTIperformance.com. We're almost maxed out on sponsors. It's like that. Pretty great. Remember the WFO store. You can get gear, t-shirts, WFOradio.com. Click the store. Hopefully some new designs coming soon. Some final comments. Dragster Jeff says he's in Nevada. Went to the Summit store in Reno. Back to Sacramento on Wednesday. Matt says, have a great week. There you go. All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Remember, Reinhardt, 1 o'clock, full preview, Denzo Vegas 4 wide. We'll see you then. WFO.